Hey, Emil. Just have you seen the offensive line improve from game one to last week? Coach Saban said that might have been your best game last week. Have you seen that improvement?
I think the single biggest thing is probably just inconsistency. We always had, little stretches where we did good things at times, but just the overall consistency of our play, you know, having about, 10 rushes that got 6 to 9 yards and then breaking, those long runs at the end of the game. Like, just there's more consistency in our running game and, like, pass protection too, because, we only gave up 1 sack, and it was kind of like on the scramble. So just, continue to focus on those things throughout the week, being consistent with our technique and stuff, and it's, paid dividends these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you talk about some of that consistency and patience. When you're blocking for a guy like Jameer, what are the keys to making sure that you guys stick with it throughout the game so that he can break some of those later on?
Man, it's awesome blocking for a guy like Jameer. He can make a lot of things happen on his own, but we know if we just get a hat on the hat and give him a little crease, then he can make some special things happen. So that's pretty much our goal, just to cover people up in the run game. So give him as much room as possible to, do what he does best.
Early in the season, Nick Saban was challenging, even in here, the offensive line to be more physical. How do you think you guys were? Did you hear that? Was that something that was through to you guys, and how do you think you guys have responded to that?
Definitely. I think it's something everybody in the offensive line room took personal. I think it just starts in practice, developing those habits throughout the week and, making sure we're practicing hard at all times, physical at all times, even if we're on the scout field, even if we don't feel like it. So just changing our mindset throughout the week of practice and, having that, dog mentality approach going into the game, I think, it's shown these last couple of weeks, and we definitely took that challenge seriously, and I think we've improved on it good.
On Gibbs's touchdowns, Seth McLaughlin sets that key block. Just, what has made him such a good backup center, and how impressed were you for him to kind of come in and just take over like that?
Yeah, I think something special about the O-line we have just in general is that we're really deep, like ones and twos. Everybody is a really good player, could be a starter anywhere in the SEC. So, it just shows like how deep we are for our Seth to come in. He doesn't play like a backup guy. He's more like a 1B instead of just a 2. So we knew Seth would do some really good things when he got in. He had experience playing in national championship games before, so we got all the confidence in the world and stuff, and nobody was surprised by the things he did in the game, but it's awesome. I told him after the game, I was like, man, you got some great football IQ, because, he just, does some good stuff out there.
I think it was Bryce Young's 50-yard pass to Isaiah Bond. There, Tyler Booker blocked his guy straight to the ground. Is that something you guys kind of celebrate as a unit when you go back over it? And then what does he offer just in terms of just nastiness, Tyler?
Yeah. So in the O-line room, we always count the amount of knockdowns we have, and trying to after the game when coach sends out the grades, we kind of just say, see who had the most knockdowns and kind of just compete for that, and just a little competition amongst the room. So it's definitely encouraged, and we try to be as physical as possible. And Book, he's done a great job of just doing that. His mentality going into the game, his preparation just for a freshman is just beyond his years. So we're really excited about how he's brought that mentality to O-line, and it just shows again how deep we are, that anybody can come in and contribute and do a really good job.
Emil, I know that Bryce scrambles with the ball too, but kind of what's the difference for the offensive line blocking for a quarterback that might be more likely to run like Jalen is?
I think it just puts some more emphasis on finishing. You got to really finish your blocks, stay with your guy. And don't have a clock in your head, because sometimes they're like, oh, ball's thrown in 3 seconds, but with a guy that makes things happen and playmaking is his skill, you kind of just got to hold on to your blocks a little bit longer and stay attached to those guys. So just finishing is pretty much the biggest thing that comes with that.
What was one of the first things you learned when you kind of stepped on campus and started hanging out around the program?
That's a tough one. I guess just how much different college football and then just playing for Nick Saban in general was than anything else I've done in my life. Just the amount of discipline it requires, and the long hours, and you really got to be dedicated to it. So just finding out how much love you had to have for the game, for college football, I guess. To really be good and be consistent. I don't know.
Going back to Katie's question, just how much confidence does the offense have in Jalen if he is the guy that has to go out there at quarterback on Saturday?
First of all, like as offense, we fully support everybody that's out there, no matter who it is. And Jalen personally, I mean, we all see him make plays in the game, make plays in practice, so we expect him to do the same thing, while he's out there. So I think everyone on offense has the utmost confidence in Jalen. All the coaches got the confidence in Jalen. So, I mean, that's what's so great about Alabama. When one great player goes down, another great one comes.